Hello, guys. Welcome to the Massive Appeal podcast. This is episode 1. And today we have my friend Imran Chima here. And we're just going to be talking about random stuff and let's go from there. So, what's going on, Imran? If you want to do a little background, talk about what you do.
What's happening, everybody? Yeah, just good friend of Freed here. He's going to be starting this podcast. So, I'm honored to be one of the first or the first podcast. So, I just work in advertising, SEO, stuff like that. I love anything to do with, search engines or, conversion optimization or learning how to just, tweak ads to get them better and better. That's what we both love to do. And we're just going to be talking about that stuff. I love any ideas that, improve life. There's always something cool out there that people talk about you never even heard about. So I love to learn new things like that.
Everyone that knows Imran knows that he's an original guy. He's always up to, I don't want to say weird stuff, but, just stuff that normal people would think is weird. Let's get into a little bit of, the biohacking and drinking grass-fed butter in coffee, or optimizing your sleep, or the veggie juices you drink, that sort of stuff. So, what do you think about? Let's start off with sleeping. So, you want to give us some pointers or tell people how you get to sleep, or what your process is?
It's a whole process. I take it very seriously. Well, if you think about it, look, you're sleeping 6, 7, 8 hours a day. That's a third of your life. It has to be optimized. You got to do it properly. You don't want to just be whatever, crappy pillow, whatever. But I just make sure it's pitch black. That's critical. And I've noticed
no night lights.
No night lights. Everybody knows now the blue light from your phones affects you. All right, so you don't want to be. That's going to keep you awake. So you don't. You have the filters on for that. But people don't know just how the blue light from your phone affects you. So does your room lights. Your room lights do the same thing. They're emitting blue light as well. So you gotta cut that out too. Or I put on blue blockers.
So for people that don't know, what are blue blockers? So it's similar to the blue blocking app, but glasses.
Yeah, exactly, glasses. Yeah, people use them. I think people use them for driving or stuff like that. I think they're used for different reasons. But yeah, it pretty much just blocks the blue light spectrum. So you kind of see you'll see just yellow and brown and stuff. But it's still clear. You can still see things. But yeah, after sunset, I'll put those on, once I'm getting for bed, an hour or two before, I put those on, right? So that no blue light is coming in. And what that does is, it helps, for when you're ready for sleep, now your melatonin can, start being used or whatever it is, right? So yeah, that's critical. I put an eye patch on, make sure everything is blacked out, right? Before I did go a little bit extreme, I had It's true. I did, I had a whole boxed out room that was just pitch black, and I put curtains up, so I kind of cut that out. I kind of,
not as extreme.
Yeah. But still, I'll put eye patches on, and I notice a difference right away.
Yeah.
Right away you notice a difference.
What about not drinking coffee, tea, or vaping before bed?
Yeah, exactly. Definitely, you notice that. If you're vaping, a couple hours before, it's going to affect your sleep. And that's the other thing, making notes, having little, analytics, how did I sleep? Was it better? Was it worse? And anything in life. Yeah. But another big one was that sleep cycle app. That crushed it for me. Because I used it for a while.
Yeah.
And then I kind of forgot about it, stopped paying attention to it. And then recently, I've been trying to get up super early now. Yeah. So I tried to use that, and huge difference.
So that's more, for people who don't know about sleep cycle app, that's basically detecting your sleep cycles, and then it naturally wakes you up, right? So slowly, instead of a blaring alarm, it just slowly, naturally wakes you up, and it doesn't make you as mad in the morning, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much any alarm doesn't know, so it'll wake you up during deep sleep.
Yeah.
If you wake up during deep sleep, you're gonna get up groggy, and it just sucks getting up. Yeah. But what this alarm does, you guys can check it out. It should be on all the app stores. Yeah. But what this does is, as you're waking up, it knows that, okay, you're moving around in your bed, so you're not in deep sleep. Mm-hmm. So wake you up in a half an hour window or a 45-minute window, whatever works for you. All right. And I suggested to a friend, and he's like, no, that thing's whack. I tried it. It doesn't work. But I'm like, just stick to it. Just like anything else, stick to it. Try a few different settings, mess around with it, give it a couple weeks, and then see. I meet the guy like 2 months later. He comes to me and he's like, man, that thing changed my life. He was so blown away.
Really?
He's like, thank you so much. He goes, I want to donate like $30 to them.
Yeah.
And like he just went nuts about it. Because I think it's a paid version. I don't know what the paid version does. I haven't paid for it.
I haven't used it in a while. I think the paid version had like more alarms or just like more settings or like more features and stuff. But like even the basic one's free, right?
Yeah, basic one.
So basic one's free, and like I guess people start off with that and then move up to the paid version. I don't know if they've changed it recently, but I remember a while ago there was more alarm types, like the sounds that it wakes you up to. I think that was like their upsell, or I don't know, but whatever reason, it works. Like, definitely it works. It's detecting your sleep cycles and it's waking you up naturally. So if you guys haven't heard of that, definitely check that out. What else? Let's talk about biohacking. Let's talk about bulletproof coffee. So a lot of people, like, especially at work, when we're putting butter in our tea and coffee, people are like, what the hell is wrong with these people or whatever. But I think a lot of people don't understand, like, grass-fed butter, all the healthy fats. Like, obviously, avocados and all that stuff is good for you, but people don't understand the benefits of, like, grass-fed butter. Yeah. So what do you think about that? Like,
no, it's true. That bulletproof dude, he hyped it up. And I learned it from that. Just his podcast is great too. Yeah. A lot of great information, amazing interviews, always on the cutting edge of medical science, learning crazy things from there. Yeah. But
there's a lot of stuff that's pretty extreme though too, right? That he talks about. I don't know, like I don't know what kind of like vitamins and pills these guys are popping, but like there's a lot of extreme stuff like. The butter is just the surface, I think. Like, they get a lot deeper than that, right?
Exactly. And you gotta have your own idea, do your own research and all that stuff. Like, I'm not a big fan of too many vitamins. Yeah. Just, I don't think, something
like vitamins in, like, pill form, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Obviously, regular vitamins from food is important. Yeah. But pill form, I don't know how much is actually being absorbed from your body, and I don't know. You gotta do research on that.
I agree for sure, too. Like, who knows what they're putting in it? Like, I heard that it's just all this, like, random crap that they put in there, and it's not even actually good for you, or who knows.
Yeah, right? They kind of, like, synthetically make it, and now they're, like, in a lab, and now it's like, okay, now, scientifically, this is vitamin C, right? Versus vitamin C from an orange, or from broccoli, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's real vitamin C. But yeah, with the butter, that makes sense, like, that's what opened my eyes, was that, especially in the West, what we're used to, our family, from Pakistan back home, they eat like real food from the farm. Yeah. The cow is eating fresh grass, roaming around. That's just normal for them, right? Over here in the West, we all know now cows are eating what they're not supposed to eat. They're eating corn, right? That messes them up. It gets them sick, right? And when they get sick, they start acting, that now you gotta give them antibiotics, right? That's what a lot of the problems is that these cows are getting antibiotics, right? It's hormones and other things, whatever. There's so many other things, but it's the antibiotics. And the reason they're getting antibiotics is because we're feeding them corn, right? Corn is cheap, makes them fat, whatever.
Remember that documentary? I think it was like Food Inc. or something, and they show like how messed up these cows are, and they have like a window in the cow's stomach. They have a window, and they literally like open up the window and scoop out all this junk, like all this crap, because the cows can't digest it properly and stuff. And that's the meat that the average person's eating.
Yeah, exactly.
So recently, I've cut down a lot of like eating beef, just eating chicken. If we do have beef, then it's try to get organic or grass-fed beef or whatever. It's pretty pricey. But I don't know. It's just pretty disgusting. Like if you see the stuff that's happening with these cows and like all this stuff, it's pretty gross.
No, it's true. I saw that on that show Dirty Jobs on Discovery. Yeah. And I thought it was a joke. The first time I saw the window in the cow, I'm like, that can't be real. Yeah. There's no way that's real. Yeah. And I think that's what was on the episode too. Yeah. Even the guy was like, no, that can't be real. Somebody asked, like, is this real? Right? And he's like, probably not, And then they looked into they did the research and they're like, yeah, it is real. Yeah. They just they cut a window into the cow and then they like open it up and scoop out all the gunk.
It's so weird. Like cows are supposed to be eating grass, right? Mm-hmm. And that's like the natural way or whatever. But now we have to spend more money on eating like grass-fed stuff, right? Yeah. Like grass-fed butter is pricey, grass-fed meat is like super pricey, and then you get all this like bootleg fake meat. Yeah. It's like mixed with all this other crap. Like I'm not even talking about like McDonald's and like these places, but just in general, like the beef is kind of gross.
But it makes sense. It makes sense because it's not what you eat; it's what you eats. Right?
Yeah.
Grass is coming from the ground.
Yeah.
It has all the vitamins and nutrients and everything you need, and then through that grass, it gets into the cow's meat.
Yeah.
And now you're eating that. So you're getting the benefits of that.
Yeah.
But if he's just eating corn and he's in like a dark little room, can't even move.
Yeah.
I'm sure those effects are gonna affect you.
Definitely.
Right. But yeah, you're saying about the buttered coffee, right? So, we've been doing that for a while. It's pretty legit. Well, I don't really do coffee anymore. I kind of just do tea. I like different teas. And the whole thing is it's kind of hyped up and it's a little bit of a branding thing of like buttered coffee or whatever. But the main thing is just get your omega-3s in. Right?
Yeah, just get that butter. Doesn't matter if it's in
coffee.
tea, coffee, or
exactly.
So I noticed with the coffee, it definitely gives you a big boost in the morning, like any coffee does.
Yeah.
Plus, we put the MCT oil in there as well. I don't know if that's doing it, but it just kind of gets you too boosted, I think. Right? like too out of that, right? But some people need that in the morning, right? I think more of just get that butter in, but we just started making it with tea recently, and it's really good, right? Like, I don't know, the coffee just sometimes gives you a stomach ache. Just regular coffee, even without the butter, just gives me a stomach ache or just doesn't sit right for whatever reason, right? But I think just getting that butter in, it could be with tea, it could be with anything, just get those healthy fats in, right? One thing I want everyone to do their own research. Like, we tell a lot of people about this stuff, but you got to do your own research. Like, we don't want to be responsible for someone having a heart attack or like something like that. Right?
I always tell people, I'm like, how much butter I eat? I'm like, but dude, man, talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
I don't know. This could be horrible for you. But
well, that's another thing. Like, doctors, like anyone that you ask over here, they're going to be like, no, butter is bad for you, this, that. So you got to do your own research. Do some research on bulletproof coffee, bulletproof, what's the guy's name again?
Dave Asprey.
Dave Asprey. So he has like a couple books out too that are pretty cool.
Yeah, actually, his books are sick. We got one Better Baby book, right? And like I think his wife wrote it or something. His wife's an MD.
Okay, nice.
And she wrote it and just talked about all the health benefits or what to eat to be prepared for your child and like just like. And it's pretty much, it gets to healthy fats. We're talking about making little avocado things and all these little sweet little recipes and but my wife was crazy about it. She loved it. She was just like taking notes and she found a huge difference.
I didn't know he had a baby one. I know the other, was it like a cookbook or something? The other one that he had? It was like,
he had one came after, I don't know what it was. Some cookbook or something.
I don't know if it was a cookbook or just like, just health in general, right? Because there was a lot of good stuff in there too. But yeah, if you guys haven't heard that, definitely check out Dave Asprey, Bulletproof. Bulletproof coffee, like if you guys don't know, supposedly it's like a really clean, like he says, like a clean bean. And they have like the pods now as well. So if you have like a Keurig or whatever maker, you just throw in the pods. And then just get your own like grass-fed butter. Like we're in Toronto, so you get it from like Longo's or like Nature's Emporium, those places. But everywhere has it now. I think like the word is getting out, so a lot of grocery places are selling it now too. And then MCT oil, that's the only other main ingredient, right? Coffee, butter, MCT oil. So that's like similar to like coconut oil, but it's a lot stronger, right?
Yeah, MCT oil is kind of like medium chain triglycerides, right? So it's kind of like the good parts of coconut oil. It's kind of like, that's what it is. That's why people eat, coconut oil for the MCTs. So you just have it like all in like one bottle. And that's the key thing is if you're gonna, you have to find grass-fed butter. You don't want to just, I don't have grass-fed, I'll just use regular butter. That's a horrible idea, you don't want to do that. And I remember like, I used to travel like an hour and a half to go find butter from like some random farmer. Right? And I'm looking for the good stuff. But like now it's available.
Supposedly this buddy at work of mine told me that they used to get raw milk from this dude. And like the police raided his house and like got rid of it. The man got arrested. I think he went inside for a bit for selling raw milk, right? So that's another thing. Like raw milk, I don't know too many details about that. I'm still kind of like careful with it because it might have like some bacteria in it that we're not used to. But at the end of the day, like if someone wants to drink it, like why are they making such a big deal out of it?
Yeah, exactly. Like for safety and stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it's safety. I think it's more of like the milk companies or they have some sort of deals in place or who knows what's really happening behind the scenes. But who cares? Someone wants to drink raw milk, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is that such a big deal? Why are they like raiding this guy's place like it's like a meth lab or something like
exactly.
that, right? Like,
no, it's true.
but anyway,
there's gonna be pushback for that kind of stuff, right?
what do you think about grass-fed milk or grass-fed like other grass-fed meat? Like, it's really pricey, but what do you think about all that?
Yeah. Like we were saying before, it makes sense because it has the nutrients. You know, you're eating what the cow was eating, type of deal, right? So you get, but yeah, even for my kids, you know, try to get them grass-fed milk, but it is pricey. You're right. You know,
is it really though? Like normal milk, isn't it just like $1 or $2 more, or like?
A little bit. I noticed with the butter though, that's like 4 times more sometimes. You know, like you can get regular butter for like $3.
So you
And
get
this
regular
costs
butter
like
is like
9, 10,
$3.
11, 12.
Well, not necessarily. So this new one that we're getting is like $6,
Yeah.
right? But it's half the size of the $3 one. So the $3 one is like those cubes.
Yeah.
This is like half that for $5 or $6. But the best one from all the research and what everyone's talking about is the Kerry Gold brand. So that one's kind of hard to find, but Longo started selling it. Hopefully they keep selling it. People keep buying it, but it's like $11 or $12 for the same stick, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what? Like you got to pay for like good quality, right? So
And that's what I say too. Like, you know, it's like either you're gonna pay for it now, or you know, you pay for it in like prescriptions or like health issues or you know, problems. But yeah, you know, and you gotta really. I'm a big fan of, you know, just taking notes and just paying attention, because you're like, hey, you know, I've been doing this for so long, I don't really notice a difference. You know, I cut out. I'm trying to eat healthy. I don't really notice a difference. But then if you're like, you know what, my nose is less stuffy. You know, I haven't gotten sick in a while. Right. I feel more clear. Right. You don't really notice until you really start paying attention. Like I definitely noticed, like, my nostrils have been like plugged since I was a kid, you know, at least one of them. Right. And only recently, you know, trying to get like properly, you know, trying to eat proper is that, you know, both my nostrils are clear. It's like, okay, there's something to that. I had another friend, same thing. Right. I noticed like milk doesn't really mess with me, but for whatever reason, milk really messed with my buddy, right? He tried everything. So many issues, and he always had, I don't know what the condition is, but always had a runny nose. Summertime, wintertime, always. He'd go through a box of tissues like every day. Right? It's like some health thing, right? Went to so many doctors, so much medicine, everything he tried. But he cut out dairy. And he goes, it changed everything. I saw him like so much more happier and like clear-eyed and like happy.
So was he lactose intolerant or was it?
Maybe, but he's done all those tests and stuff too, right? He was taking a lot of meds and like, I don't know a lot of meds, but I know he's doing, you know, taking medicine to like solve the problem. He couldn't solve it, but he just cut out dairy.
And that fixed it?
It fixed it. He's like,
he didn't do any other changes or anything?
Those are the major ones. He did also, like, you know, he got involved in like just eating healthy and paying attention and like, you know, paying attention to what to eat and stuff. But like nobody really connects that, oh, it's the food, you know. Nobody really realizes.
So yeah, that's another thing. Like in Western society, I think, like, for example, someone has a headache, right? And it could be something as simple as because they're dehydrated, they're not drinking enough water, but now they start popping pills, stop popping like Tylenols or like all this stuff, right? But that's not fixing the root problem, like the root cause of the problem, right? And I think not only with headaches, but that goes for everything, right? Like you go to a doctor, oh, this is a problem, and be like, okay, here you go, here, drop this pill or drop that pill, instead of like, okay, what's your diet? Like the doctors never ask what your diet is or anything like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
definitely I agree, like whether it's like a runny nose or whatever the problem is, I think there's like a solution for every problem, like if you just fix up your diet.
Yeah, exactly.
Diet, exercise, that whole.
I was even, I remember like I had to do like a surgery, right? And then like after what they're feeding you, you know, like Jello and like, you know, whatever, just like fake food. Like, you know, I'm sure this is affecting the recovery process, right? Which again, actually, I learned a sick thing. It was one of the the what do you call it? The Bulletproof podcast. So there's one guy, I don't know what episodes, you got to find it, but if you just search like Bulletproof car accident podcast. There's one guy, he's a model, okay? He's a model, he's walking in California, whatever. He's trying to cross the street. He gets hit by an SUV, flips, and then goes into oncoming traffic and gets hit by a pickup truck. You know, he gets nailed by two. Right? Two big vehicles. He's done. Right? And he contacted, you know, Bulletproof or whatever, and he told his story on that episode. And he talked about what he ate, and like it was pretty extreme stuff. But I did that too. Like, you know, after the surgery, I had like collagen, you know, to repair the skin. Collagen and, you know, MCT and all that stuff. Whatever they recommended in there. Even he was saying have like raw liver. right? Eating raw grass-fed liver, of course. You know, you
Yeah.
don't want like fake liver,
Yeah.
but like grass-fed liver, and that, you know, that was a little extreme and sounded
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
But the way you do that, I don't know if they talked about it there or maybe somebody else, but like you can cut it in small pieces, freeze the pieces,
it and just kind of eat it like tablets.
yeah, eat it like tablets, have it like pills, you know. Then it's
Yeah, because liver is gross. I didn't even hear about.
but it's raw too, which is a little extreme, you know. But the guy tells the story on the podcast, and I was like blown away. And I did a quarter of what the guy recommended.
Okay.
But when I'd go out for follow up,
Yeah.
like the doctor was blown away by my recovery. He's like, man, I never seen it like this. You know, your skin is coming back so clean, right? I did not think it would happen, you know.
Yeah.
And he was giving himself the credit, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, such a wonderful surgeon, you know.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was like, yeah, man, I'm popping all these crazy things. So, you know, that could have been a part of it. But yeah, like you're saying, even in hospitals, like another big one is, what's it called? The Dr. Cruz, you know, I highly recommend checking out his stuff.
Yeah.
He goes pretty deep into the science.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you read his blog, I have no clue what he's saying, right? But, you know, I watch a lot of his interviews, but he goes, like, his blog is, if you don't have a science background, you don't know what's going on, right? I'll get like 1% of what he's saying. Yeah. But in his, you know, in his YouTube interviews, I think he's a brain surgeon, and I think he's in New Orleans right now. Yeah. Right? You know, the top doctor there, whatever, like head of brain surgery or whatever it is. But yeah, he's big into like, you know, what you put into your body and your environment. That's what I learned from him, is that, you know, it's not just what you eat, it's also your environment.
Is he the one talking about like all the rays and like cell phone rays? Like, is that the same dude or?
Yeah, he talks about that a lot. Like, you know, there's 3G, LTE, and he goes, as we go higher in these levels, they're gonna, you know, people are gonna get sicker and sicker. Once we get into 5G, you're gonna notice a difference, right? Yeah. 6G, if it even gets that high, right? Yeah. Before people, but they're already noticing now, like, like sicknesses and diseases old people are getting, right? Like osteoporosis, for example, was like never seen in young people, right? But now it's coming up, right? Yeah. And that's, you know, they're saying it could be, you know, connected with that. I definitely, you know, nobody really knows, like, I don't know how the studies go.
Is there any research done on that? That if this is the actual thing that's causing? Because something to do with your bone, like bones and stuff too, right?
Yeah, like a good analogy he gave is like, it's like you're putting like a piece of meat in a microwave, you know? If you put a piece of salami in the microwave, right, you can see, or a piece of bologna or whatever, it just kind of like, it's dehydrated, right? Yeah. So you're kind of doing that with your body when you're getting nailed by like 14 Wi-Fis, you know?
24/7 too, right?
All day, every day. And that's only 3G and LTE, right? Or your Wi-Fi. Now, as they go higher up into the scale, it's getting more intense. Because, like, everybody knows that, like, X-ray is bad for you, right? And X-ray is, like, you know, over here, right? And that, but, like, lower on the spectrum, everybody's like, whatever, that's not a big deal, right? But now, research is perhaps showing that it is a big deal. I think it is, all right? But, you know, people got to do their own research. But another big thing is with environment. He's like, not only Wi-Fi, but, like, light. That's where, like, I started understanding the, you know, blue light. He goes,
tube lights and all that stuff.
Yeah, fake artificial environments, right? And, you know, that's affecting. We're designed to be outside, under the sunlight, getting natural vitamin D. You know, vitamin D from a pill is one thing. Who knows how how effective that is, versus, you know, in the sunlight at certain times, right? Even vitamin D, it's not like, oh, I'm in the sun, so I'm getting vitamin D. Certain times of the day, right?
Yeah, more of it. Like I heard, like around noon, right? Like 11 noon, like that's the best time.
Yeah, around when the sun is higher up in the sky, right? Different times of season, because when it's lower, like, you know, I think it's something to do with the atmospheres. But the sun, you're still getting other benefits from the sun. Yeah. Not necessarily vitamin D, but just being out in the sun, you're still getting, you know, beneficial light from there, right? Sun has, like, you know, in the morning it has purple light, right? All like, just like, you know, when you look at that, you know, in school we had that prism where it broke up all the lights, right? Light has whatever, Roy G. Biv, you know Roy G. Biv, right? No idea. Okay, Roy G. Biv, it's like kids, you know, the red, whatever, those are
RGB?
all the
RGB, you mean?
No, RGB is like audio video stuff, but Roy G. Biv is all the colors of the rainbow, right? Okay. Whatever, red, green, and violet, and all the other ones. Okay. But like all those lights are hitting us, and they affect us, you know, in different ways. So early morning purple light is, you know, there's benefits to that, right? And then at nighttime, you're getting more like red light or something, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Affecting
that's
you.
super beneficial for you at certain times,
Yeah.
right?
So what do you think about like people say? So I hear mixed things about like sunscreen. So some people say, okay, you have to have it. Like the sun's rays is not good for you, blah blah.
Yeah.
Then some people say that it's not good and it causes skin cancer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like two extreme sides, right?
Yeah.
Obviously we're brown, so we don't like.
Yeah.
We don't like turn red or like our skin doesn't start peeling in the sun. But like a lot of these white people, like they have to put on sunscreen. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I did a lot of research on that, and still, like, mainstream is like, no, you have to have it. It's imperative, all right? But from even Dr. Cruz, I learned that from him as well. He's like, I wouldn't put that poison on my kids, He goes, I would never do that.
Yeah.
And I get, I'm not an expert. I get my, info from other people.
Yeah.
And, I see if they're legit. I try what works, what I think works, try to research.
Yeah.
But yeah, he recommended using coconut oil, all right? And, I remember I was on a trip with friends, and I was like smearing coconut oil on myself, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, "What, this guy, man?" Like you were saying earlier, right? Like I'm always doing weird
too
things.
Extreme,
Yeah. I'm like, you guys don't even know, whatever, But like, this is like, it protects a little bit, right? Not too much. And plus, if you're in extreme, you don't want to burn yourself. That is dangerous. That is bad. All right.
Yeah.
You don't want to be peeling and stuff. But you cover up, wear long sleeves, right? You can get nice shirts now that even though it's hot outside, you can cover up, wear a hat, all right? You don't want to just be like, burning yourself. That is bad for you. That is bad for you. But yeah, you can, if you're going to the beach.
So all these people are doing it for like, I guess a tan, try to get like a nice skin tone or whatever.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are doing like, what do you call these, like tanning shops and like sitting in those machines and stuff. That can't be good for you. Like you're sitting in that?
Yeah, I don't know. Some people, there's different ones that have like different kind of like, whatever you want to call it, like different lights or whatever.
Okay.
And like some guys have them, like you were saying earlier, like biohackers and such. Some have them that they are beneficial. Like if you have red light hitting you and you're coming back from an injury, red light is like beneficial to your body. It helps for repairing damage. So yeah, I don't really know too much about that. But that's what I'm saying. Instead of like a fake environment, just get outside, be one with nature, instead of like, because a big one with that, like what made me think about that was I was learning about like, these astronauts, right? And like, as soon as they go up to space, like immediately, day one, when they're in space, their body is adjusting and changing and like starts like, it starts adjusting for the environment it's in.
Okay.
And these astronauts come back like really sick. I think the longest guy that's been in space, it hasn't been that long. It was like 10 months or something.
Yeah, it was close to a year, wasn't it?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe some other guys a couple of years or something. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But one dude, he was there for like 10 months and he came back ruined.
Yeah.
Right? Like he was like any of these guys, like his bones are decayed, right? They got to do special exercises up there, all right? Yeah. And it has a lot to do with your body adjusts in the environment you're in, all right? And he's not getting, and in that little capsule, it's all like, it's all a fake artificial environment.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So he comes back, he can't even walk and stuff. They have to relearn how to walk, right? They have to relearn how to do so many things. Because they're in gravity, their muscles are not working, right? But it's just interesting that the adjustment happens immediately, right? They said they tested it in the astronaut's urine. Like as soon as he urinates, they see like how much calcium is just drained out of their body, all right? Like from their bones, because the body thinks we don't need it anymore. The body's so efficient. It's just like, okay, we're in gravity. I guess I don't need this. So it just starts like, getting rid of calcium and stuff. Yeah.
Cool. We're at the 29-minute mark. So this is the first one, so I want to cut it at 30 minutes. There's a lot of information to take in, so our views are pretty extreme when it comes to certain things as well. So, so I just want to wrap up. So this is episode 1. Hope you guys enjoy it. And we're going to try to do this as much as possible. So if you guys have any ideas, let us know. Or if you guys want us to talk about something specific, let us know. But I was just thinking, go with the flow, talk about internet marketing, talk about health stuff, have different people on the show, and just try to get as much information out there as possible. And I want to do it with no filter, no like editing or no nothing like that. Just have an open conversation and go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy, guys.